All right. All right, looks like I'm live everywhere. Cool. Go ahead and start putting your questions in. I'll be right back. I'm going to get myself my drink, so I'll be right back in just a moment. All right. All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm going to fix my hair because I just got out of the shower and I was trying to fix my hair just because I just got back from my walk. So I was all like sweaty and like nasty. So I was like, I got to take a shower. Hey, everybody. All right. So, what am I doing? Let me go through my stuff here. While I'm going to go to my spiel real quickly. So while I'm doing that, y'all can go ahead and start putting your questions in. Once we start, I will come back to that. So, okay, there we go. All right, guys. So my statements are personal opinions, not proven facts. Whatever decisions or actions you take, you are 100% responsible and liable for those. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. I know a lot of people worry about that, but you really can if you want to. And I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. You can still ask me those kinds of questions, but for legal medical advice or treatment, please consult a licensed professional. And remember, you can always change the future. It is never set in stone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to you guys. Y'all can ask me whatever you want to ask me about. If you are asking me about your life, please be specific with your question. Just asking me for a reading or asking me what do I see or, what can I tell you about your relationship? That's not a specific question. I need y'all to learn what that means. So be specific because that way I can go through your questions as quickly as possible. So if you want to know about your health, what specifically about your health are you asking me about? If you want to know about your career, what about your job or career situation or what situation itself or scenario are you asking me about? So be specific with your questions. If you are asking me about a loved one in spirit, let me know who you want to connect with and I'll try to connect with that person and give you some sort of message or something to hopefully affirm to you that they're still with you because they are. So I just got to figure out, where they're going with it or what they're trying to say through the communication. I don't see them. I don't hear them. So it's not like I'm speaking perfect English with them. They don't actually speak a language. They just speak the language of energy. That's what it is the language of energy. And so my brain has to figure out where they're going with it because they're going to trigger thoughts, emotions, and memories and random things in my mind. And I have to use that and figure out what they're trying to say. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not as successful, but I'm still going to share with you what I'm getting because sometimes I don't have the backstory, but you may. So I'm going to tell you however I'm seeing things or however I'm feeling things. What else? If you want to, you can ask me your questions in the comment section. That's fine. If you want to come on video with me, which I'm going to bring people halfway through on video, you can do so on Instagram. It has to be on Instagram because that's the platform that I'm using to push this out. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you won't be able to come on in video form there. You'd have to do it from Instagram. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you're probably gonna have someone randomly message you, asking you to private message them or asking you to message them or they want to message you or they feel pulled to you. Now they're getting really creative. They're like, beloved, I feel such a draw to your light and I'm going to give you a great reading. That's what they're starting to say now. So they're really full of it. So with those people, because those are not people that has nothing to do with me, that has no connection to me whatsoever. Those are trolls. They're going to try to take your money or offer you a reading. So if you see that or if you find that happening in YouTube, or Facebook, you need to block that person or report them as spam and then block them. And then that should pretty much trigger the system to do so, because I'm going to be doing this, so I won't have the ability to stop and like go and look for them. I think, okay. If you appreciate the lives, if you appreciate these readings or the lives, if you can give me hearts up, a thumbs up, or share this with anyone that you feel may need to have the same opportunity to connect as well. So if you could just like send the video out to the ether, it might reach someone who needs to have that opportunity as well. If you get tired of waiting for me to answer your question, which I try to get through as many as I can each time I do this, and I try to connect with new people every single time. Don't always succeed at that, and that's okay. It doesn't have to always be new people. But if I am trying to get to as many of you as I can. If you get tired of it, you just don't want to keep coming into the lives because you feel like it's never going to happen, which it does happen. But just you can go to my website and book a session with me. It's right there. Don't message me. Don't private message me, y'all. Don't email, like literally just go to the website, fernandomoran.com, go down to appointments. It's right there. There's also the e-readings that are offered as well. So they're all priced at different price points. So there's an option available for everyone. What else? If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. That's not an expectation of the lives. You can come as often as you want and ask as often as you want. What else? Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, because I send out a newsletter every week. And so sign up for the newsletter. You can do so through my website as well. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get started. I don't think I have anything else I need to catch y'all up on. Close that up. Okay. So I'm going to start over here. Let me jump over to Facebook and YouTube first and see what's going on over here. Chris Morris, like, I tried to book with you yesterday, and as soon as I refreshed it, it was gone. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Sorry about that. That happens. Just people like, the appointments don't stay open for very long. So if there's an opening somewhere and it's closer, they usually they get booked up pretty quickly. Let's see. Rosita in the house. Hi, Ferny, please, do you have any messages for my mom? Yeah, so the first thing she's acknowledging, you might smell her, because I'm smelling stuff, so you might smell her sometime. I also feel like there's something she might have made or something she used to cook that has a very unique smell. So you might randomly smell that dish or that food, even though you're not making it or it's not being cooked. So be aware of that, because she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps talking about, it's funny, she's just showing me my Aunt Melba. My Aunt Melba used to buy all these flowers every year, and she'd be so happy because she'd plant out her flowers, but she would never water them. So they would die within like weeks and months. And so your mom is showing me that. So I don't know if you were recently trying to plant some things in regards to her, or you were trying to plant some things that she liked and then you didn't water it and they died, or you got a plant from her and it died, but she's almost making fun of or acknowledging something about plants dying. She also keeps acknowledging, this is going to sound weird. If you have like a raccoon, if you have a raccoon coming around the house, or if you start having like experiences with a raccoon, or you have a little raccoon, like stuffed animal or something like that, because she's connecting that. So there's something there she's trying to make a reference to. So if you just recently had that happen, she's probably just letting you know that she's been around, she's been seeing that, etc. If you actually have something that got a raccoon, then that may be what she's referring to. She also keeps referencing, thank you. She's showing me music, and I feel like I can hear the music. I don't know if you've been playing music that mom liked, as if she's there listening to that music. Or if there's like a music box or a little like a, what is it, the merry-go-round thing? Carousel, that plays music, but I'm almost hearing music and I feel like I'm seeing something going around in circles. What I'm reminded of is like, sometimes I will play music my mom used to play when I was a kid, like Los Bookies or some of the older like Hispanic artists, etc. Because it reminds me of my mom was in the picture, and like I was just a kid. I didn't have to worry about like grown-up people problems. That's what she's making me feel, okay? Erica Viramontes. Hey, Ferny, do you have a message for me from my grandmother? Yeah, first of all, she is showing me balloons, which means there might be a celebratory event within 30 days of now, because that's usually what I assume whenever I see balloons. So either 30 days forward, 30 days back, but she's acknowledging a significant date or a birthday. She also keeps acknowledging the number 12, so December may also be connected as well, or the 12th of a month may be connected. She also keeps acknowledging a little piece of fabric. It almost reminds me of when you do needlework or you crochet, but I don't know if she crocheted or it's just something you have that looks like it's been sewn or looks like it's crochet, because I'm almost seeing like a little piece of fabric there as well. It almost reminds me of like doilies, but I don't think it's a doily. I feel like it's an actual like fabric, and it's got something like made in it or drawn in it, because that's the way that I feel about it. She also keeps saying thank you. Her mouth, I don't know if she was having trouble eating, or her mouth was hurting a lot, because she's making me feel like she can move her mouth now, or it's easier for her to do that as well. She also keeps acknowledging thank you, she's doing this. I don't know if she bought you a set of earrings that you still carry, you still have, or she's acknowledging the earrings that were connected to her because she's doing this. So there's a reference there as well. Okay. Jency Michelle Shad. Hey Ferny, will my current legal issues be dismissed? What else can I do to get them dismissed? I unfortunately do not feel like they're going to get dismissed. I do think that there will be some sort of either deal or an agreement, but I feel like it's still going to cost you. So I'm not feeling confident about that. I also see the number 2, which means you either have to deal with you may have to deal with like 2 months or 2 years, which I think it's more like 2 years. 2 years worth of like having to follow up or having to like pay a price, because I feel like 2 years associated with this. So I'm seeing that as well. I also feel that there's technicalities that you just can't get out of. So there's technicalities with this case or with the situation where no matter what you try to do, it's like that's not going to evaporate. Those technicalities are going to hold. So, and I almost feel like there might be 2 or 3 separate specific technicalities that just are going to kick you in the butt. So I don't feel confident that things are going to get dismissed, and I feel like you're going to have to work it out with them when the judgment is made. Sometimes people, they come to psychics because they think we're like miracle workers, like we can change something. And I'm like, I've never had that power. I've never had the power to, and no psychic has ever had the power to go into someone's life and like magically change something for them. First of all, there's like spiritual law that goes against that, because we have the free will act, and so we have the right to choose what we do and what we don't do in our lives, and ultimately we are accountable. Granted, people can they get away with stuff sometimes, but still we're still accountable to stuff. And so I don't have the right, nor do I have the ability to like go in and like, okay, I'm gonna like say these things and it's gonna make this stuff go away. It doesn't happen. And if you meet someone who's a psychic who pretends to be able to do that, you better run, because they're going to cost you a lot of money. Katrina Jackson. Hi, Fernie. I already have an appointment with my doctor, but I have been having issues with my throat for a long time now. Any insight from spirit as to what may be happening? Yeah, so I feel, first of all, the way that I'm feeling about this is I kind of feel like there might have actually been damage to the inside of your throat at some point in the past. Like something might have actually like caused some damage or triggered something to take place, and then it just either it didn't heal properly, or there's like a buildup of tissue there. So there might be something there that kind of becomes aggravated or becomes inflamed whenever something specific goes on when you're eating, or whenever something's going on for you and you're taking something. So I feel like something there is going on. I also feel there might be like two polyps, or I see two little round balls or round little like sacs. So there might be 2 polyps or something that's also part of this as well. So you're probably going to have, I believe you're going to have a procedure. I don't think it's going to be a major like operation. I think they'll be able to go in there with one of those like little tube things that are like a laser and a camera or whatever, and they can like either take it off or snip it. So I almost feel like that's probably going to be what takes place, and you may have to go on like antibiotics after that to resolve or to heal without getting an infection. Okay, they're going to probably put you on like hot soup for a while after that's done. Okay, Intuitive Dreams V. Hi, Fernie. I've been seeing D for a while. I just realized that I love him. What would his T be if I tell him, or should I just wait for him to say it first? I feel like when this comes out, it's going to feel very underwhelming. What's interesting is I almost feel like this could have already been y'all could have already exchanged this information, or y'all could have already like put this out there, and it would have been, I would say, a much better opportunity to build on this. But I feel like when this actually comes out, which this might take place in about, I want to say within 4 to 6 weeks, within 4 to 6 weeks, so about a month and a half or so. I feel like this will come out, and when it comes out, I think that it's not going to feel very like satisfying for you, and you may feel very mixed messaging, because I don't think this person is going to respond or react the way you would think, just because of where they are and what's going on with them at that time. That doesn't mean there isn't the potential for this to turn into more. You just might have to be patient, because there might be someone else in the picture that has to get out of the picture first before you're able to move in on it. So I feel like you're going to have to be patient with this one. I do think that there's attraction there, but at the same time, I also feel, like I said, the reaction may be underwhelming for you. Okay, let's go over here too. Here. Miss Lovely 1908, Ferny, will my small business grow? Not enough for you to feel confident with. I think you need to put a lot more into like promoting yourself or getting the business like out there or making contacts, because I feel like there's what your expectations are I don't feel are, it's not like they're not practical. I just don't think that they're going to really give you what you're looking for. I think you need to kind of put the word out on the street. I do think you will, but it might take you 4 or 5 months to be able to make that connection. Because I think someone's going to help you out in about 4 or 5 months, and they may start to. It's funny because I actually see you building out an online system or an online. It might be just online social media, but I feel like there's an online system you're going to build out, and I think at that point that's going to really open other options for you as well. What's also interesting is the business that you're going towards or that you're working with. I don't feel like you're going to stay with that. I think that what may end up happening is you may try to grow your business and inevitably actually build a new path away from your business into another business at some point. So you may find yourself dropping the current business and going into a different business once you actually start to build yourself up in that way. Because there may be other things that are going to feel more. Let me make up an example so that I can kind of help you understand what I'm talking about. Let's say I wanted to do like an event planning business, and so I'm like, someone's going to see how amazing I am, and they're going to come and book me for their event. No, because they don't know you exist. So once you actually promote yourself, then they know you exist. And then on top of that, if you show your work or you show what you can do, that gives them an incentive to want to consider you. But then let's say in the process of doing that, you end up, let's say, renting the same space on a regular basis. And then you meet someone who actually owns that space, and they say, hey, would you be interested in becoming like our coordinator here? Because we have events every single week. And you're like, but then so that would require you to leave your business to pursue that. But it's essentially the same thing, but you're doing it for somebody else. That's what I'm kind of seeing. But it would still give you enough freedom and consistency. So I'm kind of seeing that kind of scenario play out for you. So just FYI. All I took was my barbell. Will my ex start cooperating with the divorce, and will he agree to move quite a distance to be near his kids? I do not expect that he will be cooperating. I think he'll cooperate at the very, very end of it. So once it's like there's really nothing he can do, at that point I think he'll cooperate, but it's just going to feel like he's dragging his feet all the time. I do not expect that he will move a significant distance to be near the kids. He may agree to that or even say he will, but I don't think it's actually going to happen, or there may be a waiting period before it happens, because it just doesn't feel like there's anything that happens right away. I almost feel like there's a 2-year gap between the ending of the divorce and an actual move or change that may allow him to be closer. So I think it's going to be a little tricky there. Gina. Hi, Ferny. Hope all is well. I'm getting a full mommy makeover in Mexico this March. Just wanted to ask you if you see me recovering well, or should I not do it? I value your thoughts and opinion. Yeah, you need it, girl. No, I'm totally playing. I'm totally kidding you. I'm just messing with you. You're like, oh, don't do the gay gas because you'll break down. I actually think you'll do it. I think you're gonna do it twice though, so you might actually only do part of it. Just to see how that goes, even though you could technically save money if you do it all at once. But I think you're only going to do part of it because one of the procedures is just going to be too scary for you. And you might end up like saying, no, I'll just wait and push it because I don't want to do all of that all at once because I may not recover as well with this one issue when when I want to do this other one as well. So I actually think it'll end up getting split into two separate like procedures, which I actually think what will happen is you'll be able to work out a plan or a payment where it's really not that big a difference in costs. So I think that's what you'll end up doing. So I do think that you will do it. I'm not sure if it's March. It might be April. You might end up pushing it back by 1 month. But I am seeing you doing it around that time. And then again, October, right before the holidays. Because I see you acting sore in your butt for the holidays. Someone's like, okay, she must have had something done as well. So I'm thinking that around that time, you're going to end up doing another procedure as well. Okay, and I think it's fine. And it's up to you. You have to decide what's best for you. But I don't feel that there will be, I don't feel that, we always tend to like never think it's enough. Even some of us that end up getting work done. I've not had work done, so I can't tell you what that feels like. But I've been with my sister when she's gone through the whole process, so I know all the stuff that goes with it. And I don't feel like you'll be 100% satisfied with the end result, but I think it's enough of a change that you're going to be fine and you will look fine and people will definitely give you compliments. So I do think that it'll be worth it, but you may not 100% be like, well, this is not perfect. This is not and so that's just you. That's like more of a you thing. Okay. Mimi Biv. Hey Ferny, I just started following you. I'd like to know if you can feel anything from my dad that passed away when I was younger. Yeah, first of all, I keep seeing this. I don't know if there's a watch or a bracelet that might be connected to your dad, or someone's gonna make something that is almost like honoring or remembering. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He is showing me a cross, so there might be a religious artifact or religious, either necklace or a religious like cross that might be connected to him because I'm almost seeing something that reminds me of that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. There might be a picture of him wearing blue because I keep seeing like a blue shirt. It might be even a button shirt, but I feel like I'm seeing a shirt that reminds me of like a blue shirt. So he's acknowledging a picture of him dressed in this, and it feels like it would be. It doesn't feel like it's like it doesn't feel like it's this kind of blue. It feels like it's more like some other blue, like a darker blue. Let's just put it that way. It's not, I don't think it's navy blue either, but it's like a paler or like a flatter blue. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. I feel like he's been honored. Like you might have either wrote something and read it out to people, or you wrote a report or did something like this for him, because he's almost showing me, like, I feel like he's doing this, like something that's been written out, but is almost like in honor of. So he's showing me something like this as well. He is around you. He also has popped up in your home, and y'all may have thought it was something completely different, and it was actually your father coming around to just say hi or make himself known. But y'all may have experienced it as immediately thinking that it was something bad or scary. And he's like, no, like this was him. But sometimes people, they accept things that way. Okay. There's also a little, there might be a small picture. There might be a little, I don't know, it feels like it's round, but I feel like I got a picture on it as well. So there might be something that's got like a round shape to it that's got a picture or an image in front of it as well that is also connected to it. It almost reminds me like a can, like when you're like a shape of a can, but it feels like it's got that, and then there's a picture in front that he's acknowledging as well. He's around you. He's around you. Crystal Lene, does Dawn have anything for me? Yeah, it's interesting because the minute that I saw your question, I kept feeling like I needed to apologize. So I want to say he's apologizing, but I feel like he's apologizing for two things, or he's apologizing twice. So there's almost like this double apology that's the way he's making me feel. He also is acknowledging, thank you. The number 6 might be connected because I keep seeing 6, so that would be the month of June or the 6th of a month. He also is acknowledging. Trying to see if it's 12 or 13. I'm thinking it's 13. He might also be acknowledging. What's interesting about that is as soon as I saw that, I was seeing also like, whenever people say the 13th floor is bad luck, or there's something about like the 13th floor, there's something, I don't know why he was going that way with it, but he's like showing me that, but then he's also acknowledging the 13th. So that might be a connected number as well. He also is referencing, thank you. Coins are connected to him, so he likes to drop coins around. There might actually be something round that is connected to him, but it's almost like there's the way I want to describe it is like there's two round metal things, and I feel like they're connected to each other, or they're like attached somehow. There's something there that might be linked to him, or might be that he might be trying to acknowledge it, and I may not be fully understanding it. He's also showing me a star. Whenever I see a star, I normally associate that with law enforcement, or with like a sheriff, or with like the shape of the star as being significant. But it could also mean it might actually also, in this case, it might actually be sports or a activity related thing with a star. If that makes any sense. So it's almost like I'm seeing like activity or moving, and then I feel like I'm seeing the star, and I'm trying to figure out where he's going with that. But there's a reference there because he's showing me that as well. He's also acknowledging, I think he's trying to give you a name as well. There's like Jonah. So I'm thinking of Joni Mitchell, but I don't feel like that's right. I feel like it's Jonah or Jones. There's like a name like that he's trying to give me as well. Either that's someone with him in spirit, or he's acknowledging someone here with that name. But it's got it's similar to that. It's similar to that because I'm not getting the full like verse, the full like sound of it. Jones. It's got there's something there because I'm not catching the full thing. But he's around you, sweetheart. Dragonflies are going to be a sign from him, just so you know. Let's bring somebody on. It's time. Let's bring someone on. Let's see. Get myself comfy. I always have to get comfy. Hello.
Hi, Ferny.
How you doing?
Great. I feel like I hit the lottery.
Oh, girl.
Thank
You're so sweet. Oh. Well, tell me, what did you want to ask me about?
I'm just wondering if there's any messages from my deceased father.
Sure. There are 5 males in spirit, so that's a lot of males. So there are 5 males that are in spirit. 2 of the males are not family. So I want to say 2 of the males are either like friends, or they're like connected through like the grapevine. But 2 of them are not family. 2 of them are like kind of out of the family. The other, the other ones, I said 5, right? Because I'm seeing 5.
Yeah.
Okay. The other 3 I think are family. Both your grandfathers are passed?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Do you know if, it's going to sound weird, do you know if someone was given the title of like father or grandfather, even though they weren't actually the biological father?
Let's see. I know I had a lady who was like an adoptive grandmother, who kind of helped raise me with my mother. Her son, I called him my uncle. My great grandfather, which I called my grandfather. I have a bunch of great uncles that are no longer here, but not to my knowledge, besides my father, my biological father.
The way I want to describe it is almost like when someone has a child or they get pregnant and they're actually raised by a male who is quote unquote the father, even though biologically isn't the father. Do you know if there's any like gossip in the family that someone's not actually this person's child or someone's child?
Oh gosh. There's no telling. I know I have a stepfather, but I don't know if he's alive anymore.
Okay. Okay, thank you. It's funny because I was trying to connect with your dad, but it's like they're trying to give me other things, and I need to figure out where they're going with this. Is the name Sherman or Sherm connected?
Um, no.
Okay,
The
there's
only thing with the S is Sylvester.
no. This is like Sherman.
Okay.
So I used to live on a street named Sherman, so that's why I got Sherman from that because I was thinking of that street. So
Hmm.
there's a Sherm or Sher, and I feel like I want to finish it off, but I feel like I'm not getting that last part. But there's a Sherm sounding name that is somehow
Okay.
connected. Now,
The only, oh goodness, and it wouldn't be a T. I had an Uncle Thurman who was like one of my favorite uncle. He was my great uncle, but I call him my uncle.
okay, but his name was Thurman.
Uncle Thurman, yes.
That could actually work. Let me see if that's even it because I want to. I'm seeing the number 11. Do you know November or the 11th of a month is connected to him or to you?
I would have to get his obituary to even find out to know.
It would be like the
Okay.
2nd or the 3rd of November because I'm seeing that very first week in November. So it's almost like
Okay. Second or third.
like
Okay.
yeah. He is also the male that I'm talking to is also acknowledging. Was he a smoker, your Uncle Thurman?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm smelling smoke and I feel like I've got some issues going on here. He also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. Do you know if he had some damage to his liver or there was some issues going on? Normally, when I think of damaged liver, I think of drinking, but sometimes the liver can become damaged without drinking. Do you know if there was anything like
Hmm.
that with him?
Yeah, that's also, yeah, even my mother's close cousin, her first cousin, Curtis, male, who's transitioned also. So,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm thinking this might be your Uncle Thurman, and he's just trying to pop in and say hi or just to make himself known in this way.
Oh,
Um,
I say, yes,
yeah,
good.
someone might have recently had a dream about him, interestingly enough, because he's almost acknowledging that someone might have had a dream about him in the family. But there would have been other people there as well in the dream, but he's acknowledging this dream.
Well, I did recently have a dream about all of the elders.
Perfect. He's just
Yeah.
confirming that for you. He's just letting you know that first of all, you have an ability, so you can actually tune into them. But he's also letting you know that they were all trying to make themselves known to you, or just to let you know they were
So,
there. Let me get back to that
right.
in a second, because now I've got to pull with with Dad's energy. First of all, he's pointing to his knee. Do you know if he had issues with his knee or one of his knees buckled or just would not? It would almost like I won't say it fused, but it almost like would not completely like bend.
Oh, wow.
Do you know?
No.
Okay, he's doing something like that. Your dad, he's doing something with my knee, like as if someone's knee can't completely do a bend, or the knee gets fused, or the knee gets locked. So he's making reference to
Mhm.
that. He's also showing me my birthday, which is the month of May. Do you know if May or the 5th of a month is connected to your dad?
Um, no,
Okay.
because my dad transitioned before I was born.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I'll leave this with you because you're probably going to have to like dig up the information. But he's showing me
Mhm.
the 5. So either the 5th of a month or May is connected because that's the way I want to describe it. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Is there an old picture of him with a mustache, your dad?
I've always had dreams of a gentleman with a mustache, and he felt as if that could have been my father.
Okay. Because it's very possible that the dreams are actually your father and that he's been popping in every now and then. You just, because you didn't know
Hmm.
him in life, he's just making it. But he's acknowledging that the image of him with the mustache. So he's acknowledging that. He also
Okay.
keeps referencing, thank you. Show me 3 kids. Do you have 3 babies? Have you had 3 children?
I have 8. I have
Okay.
1 girl and 7 boys.
Okay. He's showing me the number 3 with kids. So
Hmm.
that can mean a couple of things. Are there 3 of you you siblings? Are there 3 of you?
As far as I know, I'm the only child of my mother.
Okay, that's not it. I don't feel like that's it. This this is why I was talking about the 3 with you and your kids because he was talking about someone having difficulty with their pregnancy, or they had 3 separate instances where the same issue happened with their pregnancy, and they had to address it the same way every single time. Did you have something with your kids where on 3 separate occasions with the pregnancies you had to go a different route than what you would have normally had to do?
Um, Actually, no. My daughter almost had something like that with her children because she has 3 children.
Okay. Do you know if they had to like? It's like, for example, like if let's say I'm going through the regular pregnancy and then they're like, we got to do a C-section. This isn't going to work, and then they have to like switch it over. That's the way I'm thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I know with my youngest one, I almost had to have a C-section. With my third oldest, there was some like almost a complication because he had the cord wrapped around his neck.
Hmm.
And so he was like coming out on his own. And I just, when they told me what was going on, I just kind of stopped pushing. And then my fourth one, he was a twin and his twin didn't make it.
Okay. I'm going to leave that with you because what he was showing me was three, and then having to do it differently because it wasn't going to work. So I could interpret that in two ways. I could say, okay, maybe he's talking about your third child and the issues that came up or the fear around
Mhm.
that, and him just acknowledging, being aware. That's his way of saying that he would know the children, but also that he was there for that or was present to be able to connect with you from spirit form. But it could also mean that there's actually a three connection with three individuals, and he's wanting to
Mhm.
acknowledge something about pregnancies or someone trying to have a kid and they've had to try three times and it's not working. But there's something about
Okay.
it because he's making a reference there. And I leave that with you. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Did you have to deal with a more aggressive male growing up around you?
Oh, growing up around me. Um,
Because this is what he said, which is why I'm trying to figure out why he's saying that. He said, I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you. And I'm like, where are you, what are you going with this? So he's like, I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you. But then he was acknowledging like a male when you were younger. So I'm not sure how I want to even interpret that. But there's something there.
okay.
I'll leave it at
When I
that.
was younger. So two things, either growing up and the stepfather or um last relationship that was a long relationship and I was, younger
Mm.
going into and it was kind of it was aggressive.
I I think he might be talking about the stepfather. So
Okay.
it might be the stepfather that he's referring to because it feels like you would be if he were your father and in the picture he would have been able to prevent some of these things from happening. But because he
Mm.
wasn't, this happened, and I want to say it's probably got to be a father figure. So that's where I want to place it.
Okay.
He's making reference to that. He
Okay.
also, thank you. Did you just get a like a disc player? Do you have a disc or a disc player, like an actual disc album of a group?
Not anymore.
Okay. Did you have one that he would have been connected to or that would have been attached to a
um
group that he would have been into?
yes, a long time ago,
Perfect.
long time ago.
He's just verifying that. So he's just acknowledging that and making reference to that as well.
Okay.
He says he loves you and that he's around you. He also, it's funny. Did your mom and he not get along, or were they like oil and vinegar?
um he was older than my mother,
Mm.
much, so she was younger. It wasn't her that they didn't get along. It was his sister. My mother and his sister um,
He's talking
didn't
about
get
your mom.
along at all.
He's talking about your mom because he's
Oh,
acknowledging how she was wanting him to make all these changes because she wanted to be happier, and he wasn't really budging on some of the things because he was kind of just set. And so there were some issues there that he's bringing up with regards to mom. So
I can see that
okay,
because it revolving around how he died. I can, yes, I thank you.
he's just wanting to let her know that she was right and that he's sorry. So he's apologizing to her. So just to give her,
Uh,
because he's wanting to acknowledge that for her.
okay, yeah, she's deceased also, so
Okay. Oh, well, then he's just letting us know that he's made that peace
he's
with
just
her.
letting
He's
you know.
worked that out.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, because he's almost acknowledging mom in that and then apologizing. So for me, that's like his way of making that aware to you. He's
okay.
around, he's around you, sweetheart. By the way, mom's got a purplish I'm gonna say it's not straight up purple, but it's got a purple coloring to it, blouse. So there's a picture of her wearing this purple thing. It might even have a little sparkle to it because I'm seeing like a sparkle to it. So there's this purplish, almost deep blood red, but more on the purple side, kind of coloring blouse that she's got in a picture. And there's a sparkle to it. So it might be a picture of her like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You know what, Fernie? What's your Cash App? I feel like I need to send you something.
You know
No,
what?
definitely.
You know what? Why don't you donate like $5 or $10 to the SPCA in your
Okay.
area,
Yeah, 'cause
and just put
I
my
went
name. And
on.
just put my name. Yeah, just put my name
I, I
because.
I I go on the app often, and I'm like, I'm gonna make my appointment, and then I see, oh my gosh, it's not an appointment until March. I said, okay, I can deal with March. Then I said, no, I want my ancestor type, you know. Oh, that's not until June, July. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So I'm gonna make a different type of appointment, maybe about my love life.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, and if you feel like you need to give something, just donate to like a charity or to the SPCA, which I'm always up for, like giving animals more love. So
All right. Thank you, Fernie. Thank
you're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I was loving that hat, girl. I was loving that hat. All right, so let's go here. Um, let's do Tiffany here. Let's do Tiffany. Let's see. We can bring Tiffany on. Hi.
I had to get to the light.
Hi,
Hi.
Zia. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm peachy.
Oh my God, I try to connect with you all the time.
Aw. Well, what did you want to ask me about?
Um, my love life. I divorced 2016,
Hmm.
and it's just one dead end after another. Um, and there is this one guy that I've been talking to for the last couple of weeks. His name is Philip. But I'm not sure if this is a waste of time or if this is really going somewhere. I just kind of want to know where my love life is going. Are there any names floating around?
Hmm.
Just, I don't believe I was created to be alone. But
Well,
I'd rather be alone than to settle, though.
okay. Well, then you just tell the universe what you want to do. So the thing about it is, every relationship comes with its pros and its cons. And many times people will think that they're settling because they accepted some, cons, even though, they didn't get all their pros. So it's really going to be like a bag of mixed things. With the Philip person, is he a very different type of person than you normally would date?
Um, he's a lot older
Okay.
than me.
Okay. Here's the thing. Every time I don't, first of all, with him as a person itself in the relationship, I'm not thinking it's going to go anywhere like far,
Okay.
but I don't want you just to not give it a shot
Okay.
because just the experience of getting to know this person and understanding him, etc., that's helping you to kind of flex in ways that might actually help you to align with the better option.
Okay.
Because if you have had all these experiences and they have kind of conditioned you to have certain expectations or ideas or reactions to love or relationship,
Yes.
then you're going to basically perpetuate the same cycle and you're going to keep needing the same type over and over and over and over again. And in order to break that, you have to kind of throw yourself or try to experience something completely out of the norm for you, because that'll start to change your norm and reality and what you're comfortable with. And that's the
Okay.
point, is just to change that up. So I wouldn't do away with it because I think he would be good practice. So have fun practicing, but I'm
Okay.
not thinking it's going to go that far. So that's what I'll say
Okay.
with that. I do think you will end up with somebody else by the name of Jeremy or Jared, because they've got a name like that. I do not think you know them yet. I think you're probably not going to meet them. How old are you right now? Huh?
I just turned 41 January 7th.
Okay, you look good for 41.
Thank you.
I think you might meet someone by your next birthday. So I want to say almost a year from now. So about
Okay.
42, that this person may pop into the picture. They are tied to New Jersey because I keep seeing New Jersey in my mind, and they might even have an accent like, "Hey yo," like it's like So I keep thinking of like Joey from Friends. So they've got kind of this like personality. They're
Okay.
huge into working out. They're like obsessed with working out. So this person
Okay.
is very into health and nutrition and body. They're very high strung, as are you. So it is going to be a process and an effort to work
Gotcha.
past that, but it's a good option. So it's just about like trying to work through whatever comes your way with that person.
Okay.
I don't think you'll end up alone, but I do think you're going to have to accept some things that under normal circumstances you wouldn't accept.
Okay.
But I'm not saying, accept the worst of the worst. I'm just saying you're probably going to have to flex in ways that you may not be prepared for. But I do not expect that you'll be alone for your life. I feel like this next person might be a good option for you.
Okay. Because the guy that I'm talking to now, it's a very difficult situation because his mom has Alzheimer's. So he moved her here to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
So he just has a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know whether I needed to, like, should I be there as a friend? Should I just duck out? Like, is this not the right time? I don't know, but he keeps saying, I really want this. And, but I don't know. I don't know.
If someone wants something, they don't give up until they get it. This is pretty much how it is. Like, you and ladies and everybody out there, like, if you want someone, like, you're going to pursue them. You're going to go after them. You're not going to, like, let them just slip out of your hands. Like, when I met my partner, he was talking me out of dating him because he didn't want another relationship, even though he wanted another relationship. And I was like, no, you understand me. I understand you. We both want the same things. And honestly, I don't have time for you to, like, talk me out of this. Like, this is what I want. We're going to try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're just going to try it. You're not obligated to stay in this if it's not working for you. Okay. And after a month, I withered him down and I got him to agree to a date. And then after that, we pretty much haven't spent a day apart except for like 2 weeks when we were moving. So you can get what you want if you really want it. And if he really wants it, he's going to make it a point to make that somehow a priority. I honestly don't think he's in the best place right now to do it anyways, but I think if you want to be patient, you can probably wait a little while, but I don't feel like the situation with his mom is going to change in the near future. So he might be stuck dealing with that responsibility and dealing with his mom's needs and stuff for a while. It may not be the easiest scenario to help with the relationship. If you want to just be a friend, then be a friend. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like it's supposed to give you a chance to acclimate to something new because there's going to be someone else coming in that may line up further for you in that way.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Oh, I so appreciate it. I love you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Your right knee might start having some issues, and if you start to feel like tendonitis or tension in that area, you probably need to be aware that there might be something going on that's not bad yet, but it may start to become an issue down the road. So, FYI.
Okay.
All right.
What? Can I ask one more question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see my dad?
There's 3 males. Does your mom have a brother also in spirit? Because I got a uncle.
He died early, like when he was young. He was a twin, and he died early.
Perfect. So yes to your father, and there's other people there as well, especially for mom. Your father, thank you. Did he have a gap in his tooth, or he had a funny thing with his teeth? Because he's showing me something, and he's doing this with his teeth, or he's picking his teeth for me.
He did, but he didn't like his. I liked mine. He didn't like his, so he put caps. One was gold and.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Okay. Yes. Well, he's doing this, so he's like showing me his teeth or messing with his teeth in this way, so he's acknowledging that. He also, birds are connected to him, so you're going to have experiences with birds coming around, specifically like doves. So doves would specifically be a sign from him, like white birds or pigeons. It's funny because pigeons are not often signed, but a pigeon as well. So if you hear that coo, coo outside your window, all that's like that's almost like a sign from that as well. He also keeps, thank you. Was he good at fixing things or like home repairs? Because he's showing me almost like I need to fix something with the corner of the roof.
Not at all.
Okay. He's showing me the corner of your roof, and I'm trying to figure out if he's trying to like warn you that there's some issues going on there. Where you live at right now,
I'm in an apartment.
Okay. Do you have 3 major rooms or 3 significant rooms for your apartment? Are there like 3?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have to call this in because at the corner of one, there's something going on where there might be mold or something forming on the corner of the roof, and it might start.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, because he's trying to like point this out. Like, this is important.
2 weeks ago, my neighbors upstairs just moved in. The first day, the second day she was here, the maintenance man said that he thinks that she tried to pull out her refrigerator and the hose is disconnected and it flooded my apartment. And they're still supposed to be coming and fixing my ceiling right there in the kitchen corner.
He's just acknowledging that he's aware of the
gosh.
issue, the damage in the corner. He's acknowledging that, and that you need to keep on it because it could turn into mold, and he doesn't want y'all to become sick. So he's acknowledging that.
Okay.
He also, thank you. He also, is there a Terrence or Terry name connection? T-E-R, like a Terrence or I want to say Terry, but I don't know if I'm actually thinking of like a female Terry or a male Terrence, like Terrence.
And it's a definite T.
I feel like it's a T. Yeah, T-E-R. R.
Because my kids call his wife, my mom, dear.
No.
Nope.
This is like a T. I'm pretty sure this is
T-E-R.
T-E-R, like Terry or Terrence or turn. It's got that sound to it because there's a reference there. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you, show me a heart attack. So there's a connection to that and also an issue with the chest or heart. So there's a reference there as well. Thank you. You know what? You said you were previously married, right?
Yes.
Is there a Terrence or Terry name connected to the person you were with before?
There could be. I would have to think about it, but there could be on in his family.
Okay, because there's someone that's coming through. They've got that name. I'm pretty sure that's the name, and then they're pointing to the chest or the heart. So either they had a heart attack or they basically collapsed and like died. So they're referencing something like that. They're also, it's funny because they're like, we know they always liked you. So they're almost like acknowledging like you and that family and like, you know, I always liked you. So they're almost gossiping a little bit.
So they've already.
The person's passed. The person's passed. Yeah, this person that I'm thinking about is passed.
His name is not Terrence or anything like that. My stepson passed away from a heart attack. He was only 25, September of 2019. His name was Dominique Berry Jr. and we called him Nicky, little Nicky.
No, this isn't it. This is a different T, like a Terry or Terrence. They're specifically like, they're showing me that Terry. So that's what I'm trying to figure out where that Terry is coming from. So they're showing me that. And I'm pretty much pinning it down to the person with the heart issue that is connected possibly to the other side of the family. Because it almost felt like you weren't close to this person, but I still feel like there was some relation. And if you were married before, for me, that would make sense that there would be a relation to this person. I want to say it's probably a male. The name is throwing me off a little bit, but I want to say it's a male. So I'm thinking that that's the case. With your son, by the way, he's showing me his hat. Do y'all have his hats or his caps? Got it.
Caps, shirts, yeah.
Okay. And also in the top drawer of your clothes, do you have something right on the side there?
Of his?
Mm-hmm. That's connected to him, or that's it's connected to him. If I go to assuming there's like a cabinet or drawer, if I go to the top, I feel like I'm seeing stuff, and then I go to the very end, and there's something right there that he's pointing at.
Now, it's not a drawer, but my bed, maybe.
Does it have a drawer?
It doesn't have a drawer. Underneath my mattress, I keep his obituary and my dad's obituary under my pillow, like directly.
That's not it. No. He's like opening a drawer, and I feel like I'm going to the very end, and there's something right there.
Of my drawer, it would be my drawer.
I feel like it would be your drawer because that's what he's doing. Because I have one in my bedroom. He's taking me up to mine, opening it up. In my first top drawer, I have like socks and underwear and all that other stuff. I feel like I'm looking at something in there, and he's drawing me to the very corner in there. So there's something there that he's pointing out, or he's trying to like point out to you. So you might need to go looking because there's something that he's making reference to. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He's kind of in love with himself. Was he a bit in love with himself because he's
he was kind of high profile. He was the biggest DJ in the area.
Okay, got it. Do you also know if he had a thing for sunglasses, or he liked to collect things? Because he's showing me, and it's not like just trash. It's like he's kind of picky.
Glasses, sneakers.
Perfect. Yeah. So he's acknowledging that. If you go looking in your drawer, if there's something right there that's connected to any of that, that could also be where he's going with that. But there's a reference to that. He also keeps showing me 2 necklaces that are connected to him as well. One of them might have an inscription or a name. So do you know there's 2 necklaces? One of them might have a name?
I don't know if one of them has a name, but I know my oldest son wears one of them, has one of
Okay.
his friends.
Okay. So if you look and see, there's because he showed me two, and one has a name in it or has a name on it, but there's a reference there as well. He's around you, sweetheart.
I feel him all. I feel him all the time. I feel him more than I feel my dad. I feel
Yeah.
him all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. He's around you. He's around you.
Oh,
All right, Mama. Well, let me let
thank
you go before they kill you.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye bye. Have a
sweetheart.
good night.
You too. All right. Let's see. Next. Let's go to. Let's go Caleb. Let's see. Caleb on. Caleb, hello.
Hey, sorry, how do I flip this camera?
There you are.
There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm alright. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. What did you want to ask me about?
Okay, so my friend Joshua had passed, and it was really tragic for all of us. We didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
Don't,
It
don't
was
tell
really
me too
hard
much.
on us.
Yeah, don't tell me too much because if he's gonna come through, I want him to give me something. Okay, so let me see if I can connect with your friend.
I just wanted to see if you had any messages from him.
Yeah. First of all, he's drawing on my skin. Do you know if there are 2 tattoos planned for him, or if someone has 2 tattoos connected?
We did plan to have tattoos for him.
Okay,
Yes.
he's acknowledging that. I am seeing balloons as well. Did y'all release balloons for him, or did someone release balloons for him?
We did a balloon release after he had
Perfect.
passed.
So he's acknowledging that as well. He has also shown me a little girl. Did he have a daughter, or is there a younger sister for him?
He has a sister.
Okay.
Yes.
He might be trying to acknowledge the younger.
And
He might be trying to acknowledge the
we
younger.
just found out he has a son.
He might be. Well, I was seeing this as a girl, so I'm thinking he's talking about a little girl or a younger girl than him. So he's making reference to that. Either that, or you have a little girl, and he's trying to tell you about your little girl. But he's making reference to that.
I do.
He also, thank you. I think he just said Betty. Are y'all? I don't know if that's him or that's for you. Do you have a Betty connected in your family?
A Betty?
A Betty or a
Not that I
Beatrice?
know.
Okay, that's
I
okay.
don't.
There's a Betty connection, so it's either connected to you or it's connected to him. But he's referencing that name, so there's a connection there. He also keeps doing. He's doing this. Do you know if he had a school ring or a special ring that kind of had something etched in it?
Nathan did.
No, his best friend did.
Okay, because he's showing me a ring, and I feel like it's got something on it or etched in it. Either that or it's got something in it that's interesting. But he's referencing something like this, so there's a reference to that. He also, thank you. He's showing me the name Danny or David. Is there a David or Danny name connection?
Not that I'm
There's
aware
2.
of.
So there's actually 2 D's, but they're not the same name, but it's 2 D's. So there's got to be 2 D's because he's showing me 2 D's. They're short names too, so there would be like Danny and then I want to say they're both male, but I keep hearing a female's D, but I'm thinking that these are both male D's because he's showing me 2 male D's.
I don't.
That's
I'm
okay.
not sure.
I'll leave that there. This is going to somehow tie in, but he's showing me these 2 D's. He's also showing me the number 7. Do you know if July or the 7th of the month is connected as well?
I'm not sure about
I'm
that.
hearing
one either.
birthday. So does one of you have a birthday in July?
Not me. My birthday just
It's
passed.
like 1 or 2 days after the 4th of July, I think.
His is October. He died right before his
Yeah,
birthday.
he died in October.
Was it around the 4th?
birthday.
Or was it around the 4th?
No.
Okay,
No,
no,
I
he's
don't think
showing
so.
me birthday and he's showing me July and he's acknowledging it. It's right around the 4th because he's showing me the 4th of July and he's like going around in circles with that 4th of July. So there's a reference there. He's also doing a symbol for baby, so he's acknowledging that. Is there another baby on the way?
No, he had one just recently. We just found out that he had a son. We didn't know of
got it.
until.
So he's just acknowledging being aware of the baby or acknowledging the baby or the son. So he's probably making reference to that or acknowledging that. He also, thank you. Do you know if he knew how to shoot a gun or he knew how to go hunting? Okay,
Yes,
because I'm
he
seeing
did.
a picture of him and I feel like he's like got a picture and he's almost like super happy or super proud. So he's acknowledging that. This is what he says. He's like, dude, like you can hunt the deer here and they don't die. Like it's almost like you have to keep like, so it's almost like every time you go hunting, like all of a sudden you have to start the whole thing all over again. He says it's fun, but it kind of takes the fun out because you can't like keep the horns or stuff.
Yeah, take it home.
Yeah, so he's almost like making a joke about that. He also keeps talking about the trade-in. Did you get a new truck?
Um, my truck I got probably last year.
I didn't hear you. Say that again.
I got my truck about last year, but his dad just recently got a new truck after he passed.
Okay,
And so
because
did
he's
his sister.
acknowledging the
His
new
sister got
truck.
one.
So he's acknowledging a new truck. So if there's a new truck, then he's probably acknowledging the new truck or the trade-in. So he's making reference to that. Thank you. Okay. Do you know if someone was planning on doing something for him on a football field?
I don't think so.
It's
Not
almost
that I
like
know
if there
of.
was a game going on, and then the game is like it's like the middle of the game, and then people start coming out, or there's a band, or there's cheers, or whatever, and then they do something. Do you know if they did something like that for him?
Not that I'm
It
aware
would be
of. I'm
like
sorry.
it wouldn't be his. It would. How do I want to describe it? I'm hearing the trumpets in the band. That's why. So I'm trying to figure out where he's going with this because I'm hearing trumpets in the band and I'm hearing the music, and it feels like it's like out in an open field. Either that or they did like some sort of like event for him, and it was like an open field like that because he's showing me something that reminds me of that.
When we did the balloon release, it was outside, and we had music and.
Oh, okay. So was it like almost like a? I wouldn't say it was like a concert, but it was like a. I wouldn't say festival either, but it feels almost like an event like that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a ton of people there. It was for his birthday on the balloon when we did the balloon release. It was right after he
Okay.
passed.
I mean, that could be it. I still want y'all to look and see if someone did something for him on a football field because I'm seeing the football. I'm seeing the whole like field and all the lines. And I don't know enough about sports to even tell you what the hell I'm seeing, but I'm seeing it and it looks like a football field. So he's showing me something like that and making reference to that as well. He's also showing me the Colton or Colt. Is there a Colton or Colt reference?
Um, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You broke up. I didn't catch that. Oh.
Sure.
I'm trying to think what his nephew's name was. I'm not ask.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask and see if the
That's
nephew's
okay.
name.
Yeah, you're breaking up on me, so I was trying to figure out what you were saying. But he was acknowledging as Cole, Cole, and then I felt like I wanted to say Colton. There's a Cole or Colton that he's also referencing, so there's a connection or there's an acknowledgement there because he's making reference to that. There's also a Bud. Thank you. There's also another male with him, and he's acknowledging another male there as well. Is there an older? Is that your wife that's in the car with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she have an older male, like a grandfather who passed away from cancer?
Yeah.
Okay. He's also there, so he's making reference to that. That Colton or Cole might actually be tied into that somehow, but I'll leave that there because I started seeing another male and he was trying to butt in as well. So there's a reference there. He also keeps it. Thank you. He also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. There's like a German Shepherd or like a brown colored dog that's also in spirit as well. Do you know there was a German Shepherd or a brown dog that was connected? It's funny because it was a female, even though people would think of German Shepherds as like males and they're all dominant, but this was a female German Shepherd.
It would be connected to Josh.
Would it be? It would be connected to him.
I was thinking it was connected to the grandfather or to your wife's family.
Do you know?
It would have been before my time. He didn't have dogs.
Okay,
So we're not sure.
I almost feel that the dog's name is Daisy. Like it's a German Shepherd.
Okay. Yeah, but it was my other grandmother's dog. It was Duchess.
Oh, okay. And was she brown? Oh,
Yes.
Okay. This is the dog. So they're just acknowledging the dog that's there. So what's happening is your wife's family's trying to get in on the action, but your friend is like letting them. So the wife's family's trying to like say, hey, we're here, and they're trying to give me information to help me understand. But there's a reference there. Also, two babies. Whenever they do that, I'm seeing it this way. Are there two children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated? Okay, they're letting y'all know about the babies being there, so they're just trying to acknowledge that or make reference to that. Okay. There's also a picture, and it might be with you and your friend, but he's wearing a white hat, or one of y'all is wearing like a lighter or white color hat. He's just acknowledging that that's his favorite picture. Okay.
You know, he wears a white hat. I actually have his white hat at
Oh,
home.
there you go. So he's acknowledging that white hat being significant. Okay. All right, guys. I'm wishing y'all well, and y'all take care, okay?
One more thing. Is there any signs from him that we should be looking for? Something he's done for us?
The only sign that I would say, yeah, the alarm of the vehicle may just start going off by itself when no one's done anything to the vehicle. Because he says he really trigger something to get y'all's attention.
Me always clicking my button.
Right? So he's acknowledging, like he messes with the vehicle to get the alarm to trigger. Okay. He also says your tire is jacked up, so I don't know what you just did with that tire, but he's acknowledging that tire being jacked up. Okay.
My fiance, my wife's car, her tires messed up.
All right.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, take care.
Have a great night, and we'll continue
Absolutely.
to watch.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, let's see. I think I'm going to have time for one more, and then I'm going to switch gears here. Let's do let's see. Hi. How you doing, sweetheart?
Good.
Good. What do you want to ask me about?
My friend just passed away recently.
Mm.
And I was wondering if she had any messages for me.
First of all, there's another friend as well. Do y'all also have another friend who passed away? Because I'm seeing two friends in spirit.
Yeah, I had a male friend that passed away 3 months ago.
Okay, so she's just acknowledging being with the other friend, so she's referencing that. She also keeps acknowledging that she did not see this coming, and she is not blaming herself. Now, I don't know what people are saying, if they're trying to pin this on her, or they're making her responsible, but she's like, no, like she's not blaming herself. So do you know people think that she triggered or she caused her own passing?
Yes.
Okay. She's not claiming this. So there's either questions around that, or this might have been like an incidental event and not necessarily an intentional. She also keeps acknowledging fluid in her lungs or fluid in her chest. Do you know she had felt a fluid buildup, or there was some sort of like fluid coming up?
Not that I know of.
Okay, because I feel like I can't take my breath, I can't catch a breath, and then I feel like I got fluid coming up. So there's a reference here because she's making an acknowledgement here. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Do you also know if she hurt her head, or there was an effect on her head as well? Because she's doing this with my head.
She may have passed out before she passed away.
Okay, because she's doing this with my head, so she's almost knocking my head a little bit. But again, there's this fluid coming up. I can't breathe, and then I'm feeling this in my head as well, because that's the way she's making me feel. She also. Were there 3 people around her when this happened?
I know there was 2 for sure. I don't know if there was 3.
Do you know if they think that she overdosed? The people that were around her, were they like not family? Were they like other people?
No, it was her grandparents in the house.
Okay, now there's something here. There's something she's trying to tell me about like a third person, because I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this. She's talking about 3 people or 3 individuals. Now, if there was only 2 people there, I don't know if there was another person that was there and they didn't just know that, or if she's actually wanting to bring someone else into the conversation, because she's acknowledging 3 people. So there's a reference to another person, but I kind of feel like I'm talking about a male. So do you know if she had like, if she was in a relationship or if she was involved with somebody at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if they kind of feel like want to cast blame on that person, or they want to kind of drag them into this?
Yeah.
Okay. She's not standing in the way of that. So she's almost like okay with them blasting this person because she's. Do you know if they think that that's the person who got her the stuff or that? Okay, this is why she's going with this. Okay, here's the thing. I don't feel like this was just, oh, I'm going to just take a bunch of crap and then I'm going to take my own life. That's not the way she makes me feel at all. The way she makes me feel is that she just had a problem and she took something that really wasn't good or was bad stuff. And that she's kind of pinning it or making the person that got it for her, which I'm thinking is the person she was with, responsible, because that's the way she's making me feel. She also keeps acknowledging that the toxicology report was either they didn't do this fully or there was something missing with this as well. Do you know if they didn't do a full what is it called? Whenever they check someone's body afterwards? Yeah. Did they not do a full autopsy or they just made a judgment call then and there?
I feel like they just seen her and left it as that, as far as I know.
Okay, because the way she makes me feel is that had they done a full toxicology report or they had looked into it, there might be some things there that would have gotten some attention. Because that's the way she's making me feel. She also keeps, thank you, she wants to apologize to her grandparents because she made promises that she didn't keep, and she feels like they expected more from her, and there had already been talks and talks and talks. So she's acknowledging that. She also is forgiving her. Thank you. Did she not have the easiest relationship with her mom, or were she and her mom not really talking?
It was kind of a distant thing.
Okay, she's forgiving her mom. Now, granted, it could be both ways, but she's just telling her, like, she's almost wanting to say to her mom, like, I'm sorry and I forgive you. Like, it's almost like apologizing, but then also forgiving as well. So she's doing that also. She also keeps acknowledging there's a funny picture, and I feel like, like whenever someone's putting lipstick or someone's drawing something on my face, but I draw it kind of funny or weird, there's a funny picture of this because she's showing me something like that. Do you have a picture of her like this, or do you know of a picture like this?
We have so many strange photos that I'm sure I can find it.
Okay, the reason why I'm describing it that way is because a cousin of mine, one day when this was right after high school, but we got bored, and so we just took a bunch of paint and we just started painting our faces funny, like different shapes and all kinds of lines, and we were just being retarded. That's what she's showing me. It's like being a goofball. So she's acknowledging something like that. So there's a reference to that. She's just acknowledging this image or this picture. And one of you might have even been wearing like a yellow shirt or something with a yellow across it because she's showing me this image in this way.
Well, I do have a picture of me when I was younger that I drew on my face to be funny with lipstick. But I don't think I have a picture with her and me doing that.
No, it's almost like she's in the picture. This is her in the picture because she's drawing a line it's almost like I'm drawing a line like it's a fake mouth, and it's almost like and it looks funny. And it might be like a costume, but it like just looks funny. So it almost makes me look like I got like a sewn up mouth or something. There's something that is just acknowledging with this picture. But there's no reference there. She also keeps thinking, were you not able to go to one of her events or one of the events that they had in her memory?
No, it's coming up. This coming up Wednesday actually.
Okay, because she's talking about people not being able to go, or you may not be able to go to one of the, but she's like okay with this. She's fine. She doesn't want a big deal about it. She almost doesn't want to make a big deal about her death. It's almost like she's more focused on like other things. She's like, it's just like, what is it gonna, like, it's almost like she's being kind of a fool. So she's just like coming across that way. She's fine, sweetheart. She's around you.
Do you know if she left any signs for me yet?
Do you want what?
Has she left any signs for me yet?
Yeah,
like
I was about to say, she moves stuff across the table. So if you ever have anything being moved or moved around on a tabletop or on top of she's moving stuff. So she's acknowledging that she made a move there. She also keeps acknowledging a smell when you're asleep. So you might pick up on does she smoke?
Yeah, she smoked. Yeah.
That's it. So you might be picking up on a smoking smell sometimes when you're laying down in bed or when you're asleep. She's acknowledging that that's her as well. So she's coming around as well. She's also she doesn't want you to feel like you could have done anything to help her with this. She's like, this is not on you. I don't even know why you even tried. It's like, you're always trying to take attention from me. You've always been the jealous one. So she's almost going into this whole thing about it. This is just her letting you know that she's fine and she's okay. Okay? All right, sweetheart. You take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mama. All right, peeps, I'm done and I'm out of time. So I'm going to jump off of here and I'm going to jump back on because we're doing our study group.